So in case you missed it, the MAGA takeover of our justice system has continued this week. Following last week's confirmation of Kash Patel as FBI director, Donald Trump has selected right-winger broadcaster and conspiracy theorist Dan Bongino to take the #2 role at the FBI. An agency, mind you, that the former Secret Service agent has called, quote, irredeemably corrupt and should be disbanded. It is the first time in the Bureau's 117-year history that the deputy director has not been a career FBI agent with deep knowledge of how the Bureau functions. In fact, neither Patel nor Bongino have ever worked at the FBI. Now, that has not been lost on the FBI officials. They will now lead, many of whom are expressing shock and dismay over these selections. One thing these two picks do have in common: their loyalty to Trump. George Conway is back with me, and joining us is MSNBC legal analyst and former U.S. Attorney Joyce Vance. So, Joyce, I'd like you to listen to Dan Bongino, in his own words, about the FBI, conspiracy theories, etc.
The FBI, I am absolutely convinced, knows the identity of the person who planted that bomb. I've told you this many times. The person who planted that bomb was definitely an insider. It was not an anti-Trump person. It was someone planting a bomb to create a narrative that crazy MAGA people are trying to assassinate Kamala Harris. I am absolutely certain this is the biggest political scandal of our time, and that the FBI has been hiding a massive fake assassination plot to shut down the questioning of the 2020 election.
The #2 at the FBI, the role is to run the building. How does this man run the building, and how do the agents that serve under him deal with his thinking, if that's what he thinks of them?
There's a reason that the #2 person at the FBI is always a career agent. That's because running that building, managing all of those agents and the agency's work is a serious job. It's not a job for someone who's a lightweight to take on. In 2023, Bongino tweeted that the FBI was no longer a law enforcement agency, that it was just Oppo research firm for the Democrats. This is really a tough moment, and we need to take this seriously because, like the FAA that keeps planes up in the skies, or the nuclear folks who protect nuclear weapons, the FBI does serious work on behalf of the American people. They protect us, for one thing, from foreign terrorism. They protect us from criminal gangs. They protect us from a lot of serious sorts of incursions that would have a bad impact on American society if they no longer existed. And this appears to be someone who's more focused on conspiracy theories than the day-to-day business that this job entails.
You know, the thing that stands out for me, George, in this environment is you have these conspiracy theorists and folks who actually believe a lot of this now running and controlling the organs of very important agencies that are designed to look into the actions of citizens out there and, you know, committing crimes and so forth. How does this play out now? I mean, are we going to just ignore a lot of the criming that goes on and just go down rabbit holes about, you know, the deep state? Or, I mean, because these guys are there to deconstruct all of this.
Right.
So there's no process of actually leveling up law and order.
Right. I mean, and this is something, I mean, there are smaller effects like what Joyce was talking about, which are very significant effects. And then there are more long-term effects. And let me go through that. I mean, it's an agency with 38,000 employees, $11 billion a budget. So they have no idea what they're doing, what's underneath them. But a lot of people are leaving. They've already cleaned out some of the top echelon. I know people personally.
What's the impact of that?
But what's the impact of it is they're not going to be able to respond effectively and organize themselves if there is a terrorist attack. People are going to be distracted. They're not going to know what to do. They're worried about their jobs. They're going to be off chasing conspiracy theories. This is an agency supposed to be based upon determining facts and applying the law equally to other people. But here's the thing that's even worse, if it's possible. suppose Donald Trump had done all these security agencies, he's taking them over by putting his conspiracy theories and nut jobs in the top, and then there's going to be a next echelon. He's going to keep doing it for months. Suppose he started doing that in 2019, and he spent a year or two doing then what he's doing now.
Right.
You think Joe Biden ever would have been sworn in as president, even regardless of what the outcome of the election was? Even if, assuming the election was even held.
Right.
I mean, this is this is horrible to apocalyptic.
Right.
Is the danger here.